Today, Israel bombed a refugee camp in Gaza after telling Palestinians just 4 days ago that this area called Block 2371 was a safe area in Rafah. And then they bombed them 60 times, a refugee camp, when they were sleeping. 60 times, a refugee camp. A refugee camp all made up of tents with families. And there is a video of a man who holds up a burnt Palestinian baby, and the baby's head is completely decapitated. And the videos are just of burnt people. That video was the very first video I woke up to this morning, and I had to cover my mouth to stop myself from screaming and sobbing. This is a sickness that we are watching. This is a sickness that we are all witnessing. And I became physically sick from this. So much that I had to actually take time to focus on healing my body. And I think every day, the trauma, the torture that Palestinians in Gaza have to endure, that trauma will never leave them. It will never leave their bodies. It will never leave their mind. The torture that they are subjected to on a minute-by-minute basis. And there seems like there's no end in sight, because it feels like America and Israel and the UK and all these European and Western countries are above international law. So it doesn't feel like we can even imagine the end. Because right now, a country that calls itself the only democracy in the Middle East bombed a refugee camp where people were sleeping, where families were sleeping. And people, Zionists will literally say, how can you say that Israel's a monster? They gave them a warning. I feel like we're not all living in the same world, and in a time where there's multiple genocides and multiple famines happening all at the same time, and people in America are asking, well, if we're not voting for Biden, who are we going to vote for? It is unreal sometimes to be alive at this point. It feels like I am in the motherfucking Truman Show sometimes. Like, this shit is so unreal. And then I watch a video of children dying in the most horrible, in the most difficult ways humanly possible. Like, no one should have to leave this world feeling that much pain, let alone a child whose body is so fragile. And then I realized this is very real.